Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope everybody is having an amazing week so far. So today I want to talk about strength training. If you read any of my posts, you probably get the idea that I am pro strength training, and there are many, many, many reasons why, but I'm not going to go into those reasons today. Today, I'm going to talk about if you're doing strength training, but you're lifting light weights, why that is not going to help you at all. Okay. So for strength training to work, so just a quick little recap as to why we want to do strength training workouts. Starting at the age of 30, we start losing 3 to 8% of our muscle mass each decade. Okay, so a big reason why people gain weight as they age is due to this loss of muscle mass. It's called sarcopenia. And muscle is more metabolically active than fat is. And what that means is that the more muscle you have on your body, the higher your metabolism is, the more calories that you are burning throughout the day, no matter what you're doing. So if we start losing muscle, then our metabolism starts slowing down, okay? But if we're still eating the same number of calories, now we are probably eating in a calorie surplus. And so now we're gaining weight, okay? Because our metabolism has slowed down due to the loss of muscle mass. So what we want to do is to put that muscle mass back onto our bodies so that our metabolism can become elevated again, and so that we're burning more calories even while we're sleeping. Okay, so that right there is the main number one reason we want to lift weights, okay, to increase our metabolism again. So if we're lifting weights, but we're lifting really light weights and we're not actually challenging ourselves, then we're not really doing much of anything. Okay, so kind of like a little story to like back up how I finally realized why lifting weights wasn't working for me. So for many, many, many years, I taught a fitness class called Body Pump. And it was an hour-long class, and we went through the entire body, worked every single muscle, and we worked each muscle for about 4 or 5 minutes each. Okay, so we would do like 4 to 5 minutes of squats, 4 to 5 minutes of back work for our biceps, for our triceps, our shoulders, everything. Okay, so we were probably doing several hundred repetitions of each exercise for that muscle group. And I thought that was fantastic, right? But I never really saw any results. At the very beginning, when I first started teaching Body Pump and really lifting weights, prior to that, I was doing mostly cardio. At the very beginning, I saw some changes in my body, but then it kind of stopped, and I wasn't seeing anything happening in my body. I wasn't seeing my muscles. I wasn't seeing myself looking more toned, like nothing. And I didn't really understand why until COVID hit, and all of a sudden I was no longer teaching fitness classes, and I had to work out from home. And I started thinking, well, maybe I'll do like really focus on strength training. And it was a game changer. So now when I do strength training workouts, I typically do on average 30 repetitions of an exercise, not 300. So what I was doing in Body Pump was I was working on my muscle endurance. So how long my muscles could work before like totally pooping out on me. And that wasn't building my muscles. That wasn't making me stronger. That wasn't giving me more muscle. It was just making my muscles able to work for a longer period of time. Now, with the strength training I'm doing, it's true muscle strength training. I'm actually building muscle strength, okay? And that can only be done at lower rep ranges because you have to be lifting heavy enough that your muscles fatigue after, typically they say, 6 to 12 repetitions in a set. So for example, now instead of doing 5 minutes of squats, I now do 3 sets of 10 squats. And at the end of each set, my last 2 squats are really, really hard. Like, it's hard to finish those last 2 repetitions. And then I take a break. And I recover for typically about 2 minutes or so. And then I go do my second set of 10 squats. And again, the last couple of repetitions are really, really hard. And I need that 2 minutes recovery between my sets. Okay, so then I recover again for 2 minutes and I do my final set of 10 repetitions, and the last several reps are really, really hard. So in order to know if you are lifting heavy enough, if you're doing a set of anywhere from 6 to 12 repetitions, the last few repetitions should be a struggle. You should have an ugly face on your face. So if you're watching yourself in the mirror, you're grimacing and you're not able to just like smile and nod your head and all that kind of stuff. Like when I was teaching body pump, I had to talk throughout the whole set of exercises for that muscle group. And if I was actually lifting heavy enough, there's no way I would have been able to do that. So you want to be grimacing. You want to be struggling with the last couple of repetitions. And if you are, then you're lifting heavy enough to actually build muscle. Another way to look at it, if that doesn't make sense to you, because everybody thinks about things differently. So another way to think about it is how many reps in reserve that you have. So if you are doing 10 bicep curls, let's say this time, and you finish your 10th one, how many more could you do before your biceps totally gave out on you and you were not able to lift the weight? Ideally, you would only be able to do 3 to 4 additional repetitions before your bicep muscle just completely fatigued and was unable to lift anymore. Okay. If you're doing your bicep curls and you feel like you can continue, after 10, you could do another 10, then that's absolutely too low of a weight. Okay. So why do we want to lift heavy? Okay. Why do we want to build? Why does lifting heavy help us build muscle? Basically, when we are lifting heavy and we are really making that muscle work hard, we get these little microscopic tears in the muscle. Okay. And then once we're done with the workout and we are, going on with the rest of our day and we're recovering, our body works to repair those little microscopic tears. And that's when the muscle grows, gets bigger, gets stronger. Okay. If you're not lifting heavy and you're just lifting really light, you're not really challenging the muscle a whole lot, you're not going to get those little microscopic tears. And therefore your body isn't going to have to repair and make the muscle get bigger and stronger. Okay. So don't be afraid to lift heavy. I know some people, when I tell them lift heavy, they're like, well, I don't want to look like a man. You're not going to. We don't have enough testosterone in our bodies as women to look like men. Okay? You're not going to unless you're taking testosterone, you're not going to be able to look like a man. And I just had another thought. It went away. Gosh darn it. I hate when that happens. And that is perimenopause. I'm telling you. I feel like my brain is just not my brain anymore. All right, so lifting heavy and ensuring that we are building muscle is going to increase your metabolism. And not only that, but it's going to help you as you age to be able to be independent, right? The more muscle you have on your body, the stronger you are, the longer you'll be able to be independent. And I know that may be years and years and years off for many of us, but it's still coming. And it is never too late to start lifting heavy in order to build muscle. Okay. So I tell my mom, who just turned 77 yesterday, tell her all the time, like, you need to lift weights. Does she listen to me? No, but that's another story. But it's not too late for her at 77 to lift weights in order to get stronger. So it's never, ever too late, okay, to do true strength training. And, I've seen side-by-side pictures of like MRIs of the thigh muscle, the thigh of an older person who did not work out versus the thigh of an older person, same age, who did lift weights. And it's remarkable the difference in how much muscle is on there. The person who didn't lift weights at all barely has any muscle left, and it's just a lot of fat and skin. The person who did lift weights, their leg still looks like the leg of a much, much younger person. So don't think like it's way too late. I've already passed the point of, my metabolism slowing down. You can get that metabolism to perk up again just by lifting weights. And you might be asking, what's heavy for me? That's something that is individual to everybody. Okay. Where you're starting from, what type of workouts you've been doing, or if you've not been working out at all. So for some of you, heavy to start off with might be just your body weight. So if you're doing 10 squats with just your body weight and those last 2 are really, really hard, you could only do maybe 3 more, then that's heavy for you, okay? As opposed to somebody else who's been working out for a while, they will, maybe they're holding 20-pound dumbbells, or maybe they're holding 50-pound dumbbells for their squats. It's all relative to where you are on your journey. So when you first start strength training, you kind of have to play around to figure out how much weight you should be lifting for each of your exercises in order for it to feel hard. Okay. And if you're doing squats and then you're doing bicep curls, you absolutely should not be using the same weight. Okay. For true strength training, you need a lot of options of weights in order to work your whole body, because your leg muscles and your glutes are much bigger, stronger muscles than your biceps are. So you can lift a lot heavier weight with your legs and glutes than you can with your biceps. A lot of people say to me, oh, well, I do strength training in my fitness classes. And that's not true strength training, because most likely you're holding the same dumbbells for every exercise. And again, you're doing a lot more repetitions, like I did when I was teaching body pump, tons of repetitions. And, it might take, 60 squats for it to actually feel hard. And that's not going to, again, build strength. That's your muscle endurance. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I was kind of talking all over the place because I have a lot to say on this subject, and it's like my brain is like filled with the stuff I want to say. So I think I covered everything I wanted to mention. But if you have any questions about lifting heavy or adding strength training to your workouts? Drop them below. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. I do have, a couple of different free guides that I can share with you with sample strength training workouts to get you started if you're not sure where to start. So just, drop guide in the comments if you'd like to see something like that. I can send that over to you. But moral of the story for today is lift heavy weights. That's the only way that you are going to get the benefit of strength training, which is a faster metabolism and burning more calories all day long, is if you lift heavy weights. All right. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I will be back next Wednesday with a new topic. And if there's any topics you want me to chat on, just let me know. You can send me a DM and say, hey, can you talk about X, Y, and Z? And I'd be happy to. All right. So enjoy your day, and I'll talk to you all soon.